In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the import feature in Moodle to move materials from one course in Moodle to another course. You will oftentimes use this at the end of a semester, before the beginning of a new semester, to move materials from an old course that you already taught to a new course that you are planning on teaching. The first thing to do is to click into the course that you plan on teaching in the new semester. In this case, as an example, I'm going to use College Writing 1. You'll notice when you click into a brand new course that very little is here. There's the introduction section and then one content section that doesn't contain anything. And the only material that's on this page is the announcements forum that can't be deleted from the page. But an online course with just an announcements forum isn't very useful for students. So we're going to want to import some material into this course. To do that, I'm going to scroll down the page and you'll notice that on the left side of the page in the administration block, in the course administration section, there is a link to import. That's what I'm going to click. The next thing that Moodle is going to ask is which course I want to import information from. You'll see a list of all of the courses that you have access to. If you need to, you can type part of the title of the course into the search box, and then it should return a shorter list of courses to choose from. I'm going to be importing from a course that I know has data in it, the Fall 2016 section of College Writing 1. When I've selected the course I want to import from, I click Continue. This next screen lists a bunch of different types of information that you are able to import. There are several things in this list that most instructors don't use in the courses they create, so I'm going to uncheck a few of those right away. We're not going to import blocks, filters, or competencies because chances are our instructors didn't use those in the first place. The other thing I'm going to uncheck right away is calendar events, because even if you did include events on the calendar in your old course, the calendar is likely going to be different in your new course, and you don't want to import events that are going to confuse your students. The remaining three are things that are commonly used in courses, and you have to choose whether or not you're going to import them. Activities and resources will probably remain checked because this includes all of the materials that you created for your online course, including labels, files, discussion forums, everything that you created for your students to use and interact with in your course. If you created a question bank, you want to make sure that you import that to your new course one time only. If, for example, I wanted to import the materials from College Writing 1 in 3 different stages because there were a lot of materials and I just wanted to move it over a little bit at a time, but I left this checked to include the question bank every single time, I would have 3 copies of each question in my question bank, and it would be unwieldy. Not only that, it's very tedious and time-consuming to delete questions from your question bank in Moodle, especially if you have a bunch of different categories set up. So please make sure that if you have a question bank in your course, you only include that question bank one time when you import from the other course. And then finally, if you already set up groups in your old course and you want to keep those group names that you already created and move them to your new course, you could leave groups and groupings checked and then populate those groups with students from your new course once you get your course set up. Once you are finished deciding what you're going to move over to your new course, you can click the Next button, and this will bring you to a screen that lists all of the materials from the course that you could potentially move to your new course. Now notice that this page defaults to checking every single item from your course to move over to your new course. You could instead click this link to select none of the things that are on this page, and then you can go through and select each individual thing that you would like to actually move to your new course. Now you may notice that these checkboxes within this section are unable to be clicked. Every time I hover over one, this red icon appears. It indicates that I can't select that material. And the reason is to select the materials within a section, you first have to select to move that section over. So if I want these materials in week 1, first I need to check that I want materials from week 1, and then I can select the individual materials that I would like to move over to my new course. I can do that for each section, only selecting the materials that I want to copy over to my new course, and not selecting materials that have specific dates attached to them or that I simply don't want to use in my new course because I found something better. Once I've selected everything that I want to include in my new course, I'm going to go to the bottom and click Next, and then I'll get a confirmation screen that shows green checks next to the things that I chose to move over and red X's next to the things that I did not choose to move over. As I scroll down my course page, I see that there are green check marks next to everything that I chose to copy to my new course and red X's next to things I'm not going to copy. Once I'm sure I have everything that I want, I will click this button to perform the import, and then I'll see a screen that confirms that my import is complete. When I get to my new course page, you'll notice that some of the materials that I selected to import are pictured here, but several of the materials that I chose to import are not pictured here yet. Here's what happens. Because this course only has one section, only the materials in the first section of the course that I imported from can display here. To get the other materials that were imported but just don't display on my main screen yet, I need to click to turn editing on in my new course. And then at the bottom I'll see all these orphaned activities. Those are materials that I moved over from my old course, but they didn't have a section in the new course to move into yet. What I can do is click this tiny plus sign icon near the bottom, and that'll increase the number of sections so that I have enough sections to contain all of the course materials that I imported over. If I still had orphaned activities at the bottom, I would just add new sections until all of those activities are contained within sections. If you have a lot of sections to add, a faster way to do this would be to, under Course Administration, click on Edit Settings. So we're now editing the settings for the whole course. And then as I scroll down, in the course format area, I can simply choose the number of sections that I want. So if my course was 15 sections long, instead of clicking the plus icon many times to make 15 sections, I can just choose that I want 15 sections in my course. And then when I click Save and Display, I will have those 15 sections to move materials into. And now you know how to import materials from one course in Moodle to another course.